All right, so we're moving on to the next subject on this podcast. Get my hat because I didn't comb my hair. I didn't doll up my hair and put my makeup on. Whatever, right? Whatever. So, sorry guys. I know all you guys out there want to make sure that I look really pretty for you, right? Oh my god, dude, fucking ridiculous. Okay, so anyways, disclaimer, don't try this at home. As you can see, what I'm doing is a total failure anyways. I mean, look at my channel. I've only got 9 subscribers and I've got like over 500 videos. I must be doing something wrong. So, don't try this at home, okay? Also, this video is for entertainment purposes only, mostly my entertainment. And to anyone who might be watching, I must make this disclaimer that any and everything that I say could be wrong. That's why I always say, do your own research and come to your own conclusions. And also, going back previously, don't try this at home. I want to let you know I'm a professional. Most of the subjects, many of the subjects I cover on this channel, well, specifically homelessness, I have tens of thousands of hours of study, research, field application, and training by leading experts in the field. So, regarding the subject of homelessness, I would say don't try this at home. If you want to like take on the subject of poverty on a on like a public forum, thing like YouTube or BitChute or Odyssey or Rumble, I would caution you. I'm a professional. Technically, I've got like many tens of thousands of hours of research, study, field application, and training by leading experts in the field on the subject of homelessness. I lived on the street for 10 years. Technically, I've been homeless most of my life based off of the government's definition of homelessness. And I lived literally on the street for 10 years and literally looked like a fucking caveman. And then I worked in the homeless service provider field doing street outreach 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for 10 years. I've also got lots of volunteer hours outside of that, including all the volunteer hours that I've covered homelessness on my YouTube and BitChute channels for the last 7 years. Or possibly 8. I think it could be up to 8 years at this point. No, I don't think, no. Nonetheless, my experience doing YouTube videos exclusively on the subject of homelessness in the U.S., all these hours that I'm accounting for do not even account for all the hours that I've done that. And I was running I've run at least two or three different channels. And if you ask why, I would be having more than one. Well, YouTube fucking shut my channel down. You know how all these people are claiming they've been censored and their channels got shut down? Yeah. And then you have all these other channels that mysteriously didn't get shut down for some reason, but nobody really can explain exactly why those channels didn't get, deleted. Well, I'm one of those people that my channel got taken down because I was talking about COVID and the Joe Biden election. And immediately, no strike, no warning, no nothing, just Over 1,000 videos just immediately overnight just fucking deleted. That's why I had more than one channel. That's why I had at least 3 channels. Then when I was on BitChute, BitChute has a much more covert tactic to censor and shut channels down. And my channel on BitChute got covertly, tactfully shut down by by BitChute, basically. So now I'm here, and those channels I had like 300 to 400 subscribers and lots of videos. Both they got shut down. So why would my channels be getting shut down, but like other channels aren't? Like big channels, huge channels, like, you know, like Stick Sex and Hammer, and name any of them. You can just go down the list. All these YouTube channels that never did get shut down, that are the big, popular, trending ones on BitChute, Odyssey, Rumble, and of course YouTube. Why did theirs not get shut down? It's kind of weird, don't you think? Anyways, so I would caution anybody trying this at home, as far as, you know, like taking on subjects like homelessness. I'm a fucking professional, you know, by professional standards. Like, 10,000 hours makes you an expert, and I've got like 70,000 hours at least. So, like, whatever, you know. This is why, you know, it's hard to find anybody that can like challenge me when it comes to homelessness, because I know it inside and out, backwards, forwards, upside down, in my sleep. Like, you know, it's like nothing. It's like you know, I have the equivalent of a fucking PhD. And all these people that do talk about homelessness, like, they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. They've never been homeless. They don't know anything about it at all. And including mainstream media. Mainstream media, you see it all the time. They'll put out, you know, news programs about homelessness and shit. They know nothing about it. Entire documentaries, like, just like pure garbage, pure unadulterated fucking garbage. You think Tucker Carlson knows anything about homelessness, for example, or any of these fucking people, these faces on these news programs know anything about it? What about these government funded, you know, or even privately funded documentaries? You think those people are are talking to people like me who have like 70,000 hours of experience, field application, field study, research, and training by leading experts in the field? You think they're talking? No, come on, dude. Anybody who does think that these guys doing these documentaries is talking to people with that much experience, raise your hand. Yeah, that's because you're a fucking dumb fuck. So anyways, whatever. I stole that from Rick from Think Like a Cop. Think Like a Cop is one of the few channels where, you know, I can somewhat, you know, he's alright. He's alright. You know. He puts out information. See, my channel is like Think Like a Hobo, because I have experience being what people call a hobo. Rick's channel is Think Like a Cop, because Rick has lots of experience being a cop. Makes sense, right? Makes sense? Does that compute at all? No? Maybe? Yes? Hello? Anyhow. So, now that we've done this long disclaimer, well, what I was going to talk about is friendships and mentorship. Like, okay, and this just came up. I'm just kind of doing the internet, you know, scrolling around. Mostly I look for, you know, everyday people channels, because, you know, I get tired of the grifting and shilling and stuff, you know. And so I look for everyday people channels like mine, which are very hard to find, you know, like finding a needle in a haystack. And I've come across some here and there, and blah, 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 and came across one and commentary. We'll listen to it and la di da, you know. And the subject of friendship and mentorship came up, you know, and the idea of seeking friendship and mentorship. And so I wanted to just go into that because I'm online, I'm on YouTube, and I see this. This is very often. This is also a trap on the internet, is to draw people in with the lure of friendship and mentorship. You know, very common. Even just on, I'm talking about just on video hosting platforms with these channels and stuff. And dude, like it's non-existent. Finding meaningful friendship on like video hosting platforms is uh is very rare. Very, very rare, because there's so much grifting, shilling, and all kinds of other fucked up shit. Like, wait, you know, like just tons of just fucked up shit, and just fucked up people that you don't want to be your friend. You know, like they will pretend they want to be your friend, but that's because they want your wallet and your girlfriend and your house. You know. And a lot of these people online, I mean, I could pull up BitChute right now and just scroll through the comments, and you see all these people's comments. They're like, you're a fucking faggot fucking, you know, you don't want to be friends with these people, dude. You know, like 99% at least is just like people, you know, so, and like anybody promoting something like hating the Jews or anything like this is just, it's pretty apparent that, you know, those are lost causes. Like, are you going to have a healthy friendship with someone who's screaming for the death of all the Jays and stuff? No. Like, because the next thing you know, they're going to be screaming for the death of you. And they're not going to, they're going to say it's because it's a very good reason that they're calling for the death of you, when really all it is they just want whatever you got. Like, what do you have? Do you have some money or you know, do you have some shekels? Maybe a nice looking girlfriend or something. Oh, you do? Oh, well, I'm your friend. Yeah. And then next thing you know, they're turning their back on you and telling everybody, we need to expose this guy. He's evil. He's a homeless guy, or whatever it is, right? So don't seek meaningful friendship online. That's the worst place, right? By far the worst place to seek friendship. And mentorship, which is a very interesting subject, because I don't know if you've noticed this, but the majority of all these channels in popular, trending, and then everywhere else that mostly just mirrors popular and trending, etc., they're all acting as though they're a mentor. And what they want to mentor you on is to teach you about the Jays, the history of the Jays. Because why? Because it's the Jays. This is the kind of shit they want. That's the mentorship they want to offer you, is to teach you why it's important to hate the Jays. It's like, so, and that's everywhere. Whether it's why it's important to hate the Jays, why it's important to hate the homeless, why it's important to hate any person or group of people, no matter who or what. The mentorship they're offering up to you is why it's important to hate people. Why it's important to hate, you know, people. When really all hate is a poison. And they know this. And since they're riddled with poison, they don't want to be alone. They don't want to be alone. They want to poison you. So then you can both be poisoned together. Then they can drag you down with them, which is why they spew their poison. Now, Am I toxic? Probably. I mean, we all are to varying degrees are toxic. You know, like I smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. You want to come hang out and smoke a cigarette? Well, you know, whatever, man. Drink a cup of coffee. You want to talk shit? I'll talk shit with the best of them. I'll make fun of, you know, fake nukes Phil because he looks like he's gay and shit. Or whatever. Am I toxic? Yeah. Is that toxic? Yeah. There's a certain level of toxicity to that. You know. But, you know, like whatever. Like, I have the potential to be a really terrible person. You know, I have the potential, just like you and everyone else, to be just some slimy person who all I'm interested in is how much money you have that I could steal from you. And if I can steal, if you have a hot girlfriend, I could steal from you. And maybe even more, like if you have a house and a car and I could figure out how to steal that, yeah. See, I have the potential to be a slimy piece of shit like that, right? Just like you and everybody else. We all have the potential. You know, in life there are two paths. You know what I'm saying? We all have the potential to be a piece of shit, you know. Because in life there are two paths. The short-sighted embark on the dishonest path. The wise on the honest path. Because the wise know the truth. That in helping others, we help ourselves. And in hurting others, we hurt ourselves. So would I promote the hatred of any group of people? No. Why not? Well, because no matter how wise I might be, whether it's just a little tiny bit or I'm the wisest man on the earth, one thing I know is that the wise know the truth. And that is that in helping others, we help ourselves. And in hurting others, we hurt ourselves. So, out of self-preservation, I don't promote the hatred of any group of people or person. Like, I avoid it. I avoid promoting that messaging as much as possible. Now, I still like to remain edgy because, you know, I mean, edgy's cool, right? I'm not an edgelord or anything, but I am kind of rough around the edges. Like, you know, I mean, I would hope that I come across that people may want to think twice before fucking with me. Yeah. At the same time, I also would like to come across as, dude, I'm chill. Like, I'm chill, you know. I may have controversial views or come across as like an angry hobo or whatever. But generally speaking, I'm chill. I just keep to myself. I try to do the next right thing. You know, I'm involved in positive stuff. I hang around positive people. I don't hang around people that are promoting, you know, hatred. You know, I don't. I make a conscious effort to not hang around people that promote hate. Can I come across as though I might be kind of hateful about this or that? Maybe. But in a general way, no. No. But see, some people view that as weakness. That if you're not promoting hate, you must be weak. And this is why, you know, I like to keep others at bay, because it's more and more common of a thing where people view you as if you're not spewing hate, then you're weak. And these kind of people are always looking for somebody to prey on. You know? And that's why I'm always armed. I am always armed, and I keep a tight ship. I lock my shit up. I try to always be prepared, because I've had people fucking come after me to steal whatever they can get from me and cause harm to me, including probably try to kill me and burn my shit down and everything. I've had all this. I've experienced the Judas kiss, where, that kind of thing, where someone I thought me and that person were really close and stuff, and we, spent a lot of time together and confided in each other and were open and honest and la-di-da, and for years, and I went out of my way to help them and this and that, and then the Judas kiss out of nowhere, boom, where it's like this person, it's the equivalent of demon possession. There's no other explanation for it. Which is why I would suggest listening to people like that Malachi. I don't know his name, but it's like Malachi. He's probably the most renowned exorcist of all time. He was interviewed on Art Bell. Art Bell interviewed him about and Malachi talks about demon possession. I would suggest, exploring that a little bit, because Judas kiss and demon possession, like, pretty closely tied together. But anyways, like, going back to mentorship, you're not going to find mentorship on online. I don't care how popular that channel is. They're not mentoring you. You are what do they call it? Like, you are the product. These popular and trending channels, you're nothing to them but a click, like, view, and sub. That's it. So the only thing they're going to mentor you on is to continue, visiting their channel, click on richielikesgold.com, buy all their stupid survival food. No, that's all the mentorship you're going to get from these popular and trending channels. So you're not going to find friendship or mentorship online. I mean, it's like the golden rule, right? It's not happening. Maybe, if you're lucky, one person, maybe, if you're lucky, but that one person I would be cautious of. Like, I don't know, I met that person online, so I'm not really sure, See, the real world is out there. The real world is out there. No matter how much the internet wants to tell you it's not out there, the real world is out there. I'll give you an example. This is one of my favorite examples. If I want to challenge myself and be like, well, is the real world out there, or is it all just a simulation? Maybe the real world doesn't even exist. Well, let's see. Here's this lighter that supposedly is real. Here's my hand that's real, and I can feel the lighter. Well, why don't I do an experiment and just see if this... Ow! Okay, wow, I don't know. So, I may not know if the real world exists or not, but I know that hurt when I did that, and so maybe I will refrain from, like, lighting my fucking face on fire, maybe. Maybe would be a good idea. Now, the real world is out there. No matter how much the internet tries to tell you it's not out there, the real world is out there. And that's the only place that's the best prospect anybody has in finding true friendship and true mentorship is in the real world. It's not happening online, okay? I keep to myself, with the internet especially, I'm not into friends, like, online. I've met, 2 or 3 people online, and there's only one that I consider, a friend of sorts, a friend. Like, he's cool with me, whatever. I mean, and it would be cool to hang out with him, but he lives way over there, I live way over here, so we're not going to be hanging out, so, which is kind of unfortunate in a sense, because it's like, man, I bet you if we did, live in close proximity, we'd probably hang out for coffee and fucking shoot the shit and laugh and joke and fucking, whatever, whatever, and kind of be able to be a resource to each other. Like, oh, you need a job? Well, I got this fucking crazy job over here. I don't know if you want it, but I'm working in whatever. I don't know. It's up to you. Or whatever. Or, hey, like, whatever it is. But he lives hundreds of miles away. I live hundreds of miles. So it's like, whatever. It just is what it is, whatever. But, like, finding, like, meaningful friendship, like somebody who, I can hang out with coffee once a week, and he's not a scumfuck that wants to steal my girlfriend and my car and this and that. That's in the real world. That's not online. If I want to meet, if I want to, find some, like a mentor, like the proverbial Morpheus from the Matrix type of mentor that maybe has more experience than me and stuff, and is willing to fucking like meet up with me and we can go through shit and stuff. That's out in the real world. That's not online, dude. Somebody here? That's out in the real world. It's not online, unfortunately. So anyway, something else was coming up that I was like, oh, I would love to talk about that. And I can't remember. I think it had something to do with homelessness. Oh, yeah. One more disclaimer. Okay, look. This has always been a thing with my channels in my great lucrative, video platform career. That's a joke, by the way. But anyways. Like when I had a channel with 300 or 400 subscribers, and I was pumping out, I don't know, 2 to 4 videos or something like that a week and stuff. And people would be like, you're not homeless. I'd get everything. It'd be like, this guy's a fucking bum. Don't listen to him. To, man, you're not even homeless. I'd get everything like that. And it was like it was pretty much a regular thing. Somebody would come around to my channel and be like, and they're not caught up to speed. Like they just watch one video and they're like, you're not even fucking homeless, dude. What the fuck, right? So, okay, here we go again. And, because, my channel would be like, I'm the Angry Hobo. This is the Angry Hobo channel. And all I do is talk about homeless. And the guy, and then somebody's all upset saying, you're not even homeless. So then it goes, the disclaimer that I spent 5 minutes or so in the beginning of this video where I'm like, dude, okay, I was homeless for 10 years, eating out of dumpsters. By the government's own definition of homelessness, I've been homeless most of my life before I even ended up on the street. And then I worked 10 years in the homeless service provider field. Like, and even right now, like by somebody would say I'm homeless. I live in an 8 by 15 by 13 foot trailer in the middle of the desert. And I have a hose connected to a water faucet, and I have a extension cord plugged into electricity, But some people would say, well, you're a fucking bum. You're just some bum. Other people say, you're not even homeless. Look at how nice your trailer is. Look at how nice of a place you live in. And see, I get this all the time. It's either this or that. It's always something. And yes, I have a job. I've also been homeless. I know the difference between having a job and not having a job. And being homeless is as much work as pretty much any job I've ever had. So based off of that, why don't you tell me what the word work means? If being homeless is at least as much work as any job I've ever held, right? But I thought they're all just lazy. Those lazy homeless bums need to get a job, when just surviving from one day to the next being homeless is easily as much work as having a job. And what are jobs? Bootlicks. You want to go bootlick. But I thought we're supposed to stand up to the system. Oh, but that's only after I work for the system 8 hours a day, right? Like, when you start looking into homelessness, nothing makes any sense. Even the word homeless doesn't make any sense. What do you regard the planet Earth as? Home. Isn't that what you hear that? Is the planet Earth is our home. Well, then what is a homeless person? A satanic interdimensional being invading the earth. The word homeless doesn't even make any sense. If the planet Earth is our home, then what does homeless mean? Like, I was just thinking about this too. Like, people are all upset. Well, these homeless people are just walking around. They're interfering with our life. How is a homeless person interfering in a general way? Like, imagine being homeless. Think about it. I could just take this camera right now and just go walk outside. I've done this before. See, people don't have listening ears to hear the truth. They don't understand because they don't want to understand. They just want to complain. These fucking homeless people. Well, I'll explain it this way. If you're homeless, you don't even have a car to live in or nothing. You're just totally homeless. All you got is clothes on your back and you're homeless. Say here, in this little tiny town out in the middle of nowhere with the population of 1,000 people, and you're here and you're homeless. You don't have a car. All you got is clothes on your back and you're homeless and you're walking. Every step you take, you're walking on owned property. You're walking on the sidewalk, that's owned property. The taxpayers own that sidewalk. How dare you walk on it? So then you might be like, oh, well, okay, I won't walk on the sidewalk. Okay? Because taxpayers own that sidewalk, right? So where are you going to walk? In the middle of the street? Well, that street is taxpayer owned too. How dare you? So, okay, so now you have to find a place that isn't owned. Well, then start looking around. As far as the eye can see, start looking around. Well, if by me walking on the sidewalk is interfering with other people because that sidewalk is owned by taxpayers, and so I'm interfering just walking on the sidewalk because I'm not a taxpayer, I'm homeless. So even just walking on the sidewalk, the sidewalk is owned by someone else and it isn't you. You're homeless. Get out of here, you homeless bum. Well, where do you want me to go? I don't care. Get out of here. This sidewalk is taxpayer owned. This is paid for by my hard-earned tax dollars. So where do you go? Well, then start looking around. Once you realize the sidewalk you're walking on is taxpayer owned. Taxpayers own that sidewalk you're walking on, you piece of shit homeless man. Oh, okay, so where can I walk that isn't owned? All you see is sidewalks and streets and buildings. It's all owned. All of this is owned. And then you could think, well, what if let's see. Where can I go that isn't where I'm not trespassing? Because, taxpayers own that sidewalk. They paid for it with their taxes. And you're just a homeless bum, right? So where can you go where you're not trespassing on someone's property? So now I'll take you out here real quick and we'll show you. This will be real quick. Very, very quick. So once you realize this, because that's what happens when you're homeless. So look around as far as the eye can see. Look, I wonder if I could just go walk in those mountains over there. Oh no, that's all owned. Wait a second, that's all owned. What about, okay, I'll go walk over to these mountains then, because I can't walk on those hard-earned taxpayer paid for sidewalks, What about these? No, this is all owned. Oh, but wait, so what about way over there? Oh no, that's all owned. You don't know? Oh, you don't even know? This is all owned. How dare you, homeless person? What are you even doing here? You're trespassing. The whole planet Earth is owned. You didn't know this, you dummy dumb dumb dumb? Get off of this planet. This whole entire planet is owned by the Rothschilds. How dare you step foot here? You think I'm being hyperbolic. You think I'm exaggerating. You're walking down the street. That sidewalk was paid for by tax dollars. Hard-earned, hard-working tax dollars paid for that sidewalk. You son of a bitch walking on that sidewalk. Well, where can you go? Look around. What do you see? Houses, buildings, businesses, sidewalks, streets. It's all owned. So then look further. Look as far as the eye can see. What do you see? Oh, well, I see mountains on the horizon, and it's all owned, you dumb motherfucker. All of it. Owned. Okay, well, I'll take a space shuttle out to the moon and then look at the Earth so I can see where can I go that isn't owned. The whole fucking planet's owned, you dumb motherfucker. Homeless. The word homeless. And those homeless people, they're just interfering. They're interfering, aren't they? All those homeless people walking around on Earth. How dare they have no right to walk around. Those sidewalks were paid for by taxpayers. This is the psychopathy with society. This is how society views everything. That's taxpayer. Taxpayers paid for that. And you're just homeless? What are you doing on that sidewalk? You want to talk about Karens and Ken? That's how a Karen thinks. Angry Karen sees a homeless guy walk on the sidewalk and says, you know, I work really hard for my money. And my tax dollars go for that, to pay for that sidewalk. And here you have this homeless person just vagrantly walking around on the sidewalks that all us taxpayers, our hard-earned tax dollars paid for that sidewalk. I'm calling the police. I'm going to call the police. I think I'm going to follow him. I'm going to follow that homeless person. How dare. This is just an outrage. Forget that the Rothschilds own the planet Earth and own the stupid Karen and fucking ass rape her every night in her sleep, probe her with their alien fucking, UFO probes. Oh no, it's these homeless people are the problem. I'm going to follow him because I know he's just homeless. He doesn't even pay for that sidewalk he's walking on, let alone, he's going to go walk to the store. Because he's going to buy some. Oh no, I know why he's walking to the store. He wants to ask for free money. While I work hard, my tax dollars are paying for that sidewalk he's walking on. He's just a vagrant. He's trespassing. That is trespass. I'm going to follow him. Okay, I'm following him. Oh, so now he's sitting down. How dare he sit down? Where is he sitting? On that sidewalk that my tax dollars paid for. Oh, now he's sitting on a park bench. Who paid for that park bench? My tax dollars. No. This is an outrage. I won't stand for it. Oh, now he's over at the store again. Huh? Yeah, He's at the store. Guess what he's doing? Because he doesn't have any money. Oh, now he's in front of the store. Now I see him talking. What's he doing? Asking people for free money. I'm calling the cops. I'm calling the cops right now. This is intolerable. Like, I'm not standing for this. These homeless people, they just need to get out of here. I don't care where they go. Just not here. Not in my backyard. There's plenty of mountains. There's plenty of places for them. I'm calling the cops.